Hey guys, how's it going so far? My name is Angelo Bash from Future Evolution Production, giving you the latest updates and entertainment news that's hitting headlines right now. Sorry, my pronunciation sucks. But if you guys haven't checked out my Facebook Live, I actually posted a little snippet of what this video is going to be about. And I try to keep it under 10 minutes, but I love talking. So this is my segue to what I was actually talking about and getting more in-depth information, and also making sure that I edit all the clips of the videos and pictures that I've gathered and all the information that I've gathered over this specific subject. So hi again. If you guys haven't checked out my Instagram, or if you haven't checked in my YouTube channel, why don't you just pause this video for a second, type in YouTube, search up Angelo Bash. You'll see it'll say Angelo Bash Media multimedia channel. Click it, follow it, share it, like my videos, and also leave a comment. That's all you need to do. And Instagram, same thing. You can look up Angelo Bash or Latin Rascal 1. But now getting segue to what I was talking about. So when I was talking about Facebook Live, I was talking about like the big merger bid out war that's happening right now. And the crazy thing about it is that this is a game changer. This is the first time in the history of the entertainment industry where whoever wins this bid is going to redefine how the entertainment industry is going to run for the next decades. Okay? So I'll be posting little things around the video. You won't see it right now. I'll be posting it as I'm talking, but when I edit this video. But pretty much, like, Warner Brother is literally on a tug of war battle on who's going an aggressive battle bid of a hostile takeover. Because you have to remember, Warner Brothers has been one of the first big five film history. Back in the 60s and 50s, when movies were starting to take flight, there was five big corporations that made up the superpowers of which was called the Big Five and the Little Three. So these eight companies really run the industry. It was following the star system, so a lot of producers, a lot of artists couldn't work with other companies because they were contracted to these. And Warner Brothers was one of those companies back then that really made headlines. And it is still a global contender in the industry of how entertainment runs. And I'm not just talking about films. I'm talking about in everything in general, like, releasing, content, in theaters, building awareness, all that good stuff. So Warner Brothers was originally bid out with Paramount and Skydance. And the first offer they gave didn't work out. It was rejected by Warner Brothers. Then Netflix put in the scene, and they bidded for $82 billion, okay, for not only their films, was about $72 billion, which Netflix would be a great contender for it. And purchasing this legendary studio, home to a huge new films and old, such as DC Universe, Lord of the Rings, Casablanca, the Harry Potter franchise, Big Bang Theory, the list can go on. And the problem is that a lot of people had a lot of things to say about it. The main people that had the issue with it were the guilds. So the Writer Guild, the Director Guild, and the Actor Guild. Let me see if I can find this thing that talks about it. But basically, in a nutshell, like I said, I'm going to post it on here so you guys can see it, the content on here, and get it out there a little bit more. Oh, I hate when this thing does that. So, in hindsight, pretty much what's happening is that because Netflix made this merger, and they already started the merger, They already signed the contract and everything like that. Paramount is not going to lose this battle. They want to take over Warner Brothers for specific reasons. And it's also because the legality of whenever you purchase a company has to go through the government. So to make sure everything's finalized and everything like that, that's what's happening right now. So the merger, so basically the contract has been signed. But now since they threw this $108 billion deal and also promised to produce 30 plus films for 30 years. So that was their commitment. The simple thing is that with all this stuff, Warner Brothers, is having a tissy fit right now. And the reason I'm gonna get into my thought process and why everyone's going crazy. And so this is why the Warner Brothers board is really trying to. It has a legal duty to review every offer that's been given, and they have to also make sure that it's best for their shareholders regarding who takes over this thing. So let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to load this up for you. So to get a little bit more stuff, because I'll be posting things here and there. So remember, in the late 25, Warner Brothers Discovery, the parent company behind its famed studio, streaming services, and other media assets, announced that it received an unsolicited interest from multiple parties to buy either parts or all its business promoting for formal review, strategy, authorization, which means sales, spin-offs, you name it, all the stuff. That triggers a competitive process in which several major media companies submitted proposals, which of course includes Netflix, Paramount Skydance, and then possibly Comcast. Now I'm going to get back to that later. The reason why, so this is, okay, my thoughts about this is that a lot of people are having hesitant about this because of the fact, if you haven't seen the Facebook, I'm going to just repeat a lot of the things that I said in the Facebook Live. So with this merger, not only from what I've done my research, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it, because like I said, I've been studying the craft, UCF and Palm Beach State, and possibly Full Sail in the future. I've been studying film for a long time, and I've been always trying to look at every single news bite that I get for entertainment. Not from entertainment now, entertainment news tonight. I'm just talking about in general. Like whenever I hear things, I always try to do my own research and I try to figure things out. And the thing about it is that this bid that Netflix is doing, is a big undertaking for them. It's a game changer for them. And if you guys haven't known Netflix's history, they were first a film mail-in service that would let mail film to you so that you could watch your favorite movies at home or your DVD player when DVD players were popular back then. And in the hindsight, they wanted to work with the production company so they can actually have more capital when it comes to filming industry, right? Their first thing was with Blockbuster. Blockbuster turned them away and basically told them that they were nothing, that they're just a small little company that's not going to last that long to the end of the year. Netflix did not take kindly to that, and so because of that, it beat out Redbox and Blockbuster, and now pivot everything to the first one to do streaming service before Amazon. I have to say that. If Netflix and Amazon, Warner Brothers, they're not paying me to say any of this stuff, all this information is generally on the internet. So I'm just giving you my thoughts, and I'm giving you like facts about certain things that are happening. You take whatever you want, like I said. But the thing about Netflix is a game changer because not only would it allow them to finally enter into the fray, it will be able to be a contender finally between Disney, Universal, Paramount, and Sony that have been that are running basically the entertainment industry for the thing. Now, when it comes to Warner Brothers, you know, they have channels like CNN, Discovery Channel, which I found out that it's actually being separate deals. So what Netflix is trying to buy out is their whole filming and TV production, HBO Max, leaving out Discovery Plus. So with Netflix's owning Warner Brothers stored catalog and production films, which means films, TV shows, franchise, it would massively boost the library that it has already, and giving it not only its own originals, but treasure troves of legendary content and future IP, which is DCP as well. I mean, DC Universe, my bad. Now, the reason why Paramount is trying to give it to them, because Paramount already is a major player and it's starting to gain more momentum. The one thing that has come to very clear is that both people are favored by the president, Donald Trump. Now, the reason why that Paramount, the CEO of Paramount, wants to buy this off is because he's a very huge MAGA, and he wants to take control of the news in a way where he can actually give more MAGA perspective in the control more of the news outlet when it comes to the ideology and all this stuff like that. I'm not saying anything negative about MAGA. I'm just telling you the facts. So Trump likes, but the thing about it is, a lot of people don't realize is that, which I found out myself, is that before Netflix CEO actually approached this deal, he actually asked Trump's permission to buy this thing, and Trump was okay with that. But now that the realities are happening and all the people are getting all fussy, now he's weighing in. He's weighing his thoughts. Because the countersuit is by someone that's associated with Trump's organization and stuff like that. Not organization, but with Trump in general. It's gonna be a heated battle. Because with Netflix, it allows them to change the game, and a lot of people are afraid of this because of the fact that Netflix is very exclusive when it comes to working with a lot of things. So certain directors, actors, writers, producers, stuff like that. So that's what their problem with the industry is, because if they buy that thing out, Netflix is very specific on what they want or what they want to generate. So creative control, there's not going to be freedom for creative control, or it's going to probably, their streaming service. So they're not going to be probably prominent to theater release. They're not for that, because it's all about streaming to them. And that's why a lot of people are worried. The actor guilds are worried. All the guilds are worried. A lot of people were like, even Jade Fonda put out a thing saying that this is the worst thing that's ever happened. This is the freedom of control. Now, my thoughts is that this would be it may be a good or bad thing for them, because think about it this way: Netflix is an outsider. Netflix has always been an outsider. So this is Netflix's chance to really put themselves in that shoes. Also, the last few movies that Netflix had produced, they've released also to theaters as well. So that's the one thing that people need to back away from, that is that Netflix has produced stuff that have gone in theater release recent years. So this may be giving them the chance to do that more. Maybe change the way the theater runs their stuff, Who knows? Maybe if they actually have a Netflix, I'm just throwing ideas. The fact that it's streaming, it'll be easier for them to release film in theaters. So no backlash, because you could just go on, because everything's digital now. So you could just literally have an account for Netflix, or Netflix, and set up some type of way where everything is accessible, which probably is in theaters right now, because that's how they access movies. For canning, I'm a judge for the Atlanta Film Festival right now, and I'm judging films right now. That's all I can say right now. But there's a site that has all the movies that people produce all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they use. I'm not sure because I worked in the theater, but I never actually understood. I never tried to understand how the box office works and everything like that. Maybe I need to get back into that. But yeah, so everything is digital now. So maybe it might save them money if they just have a subscription to that. And bam, all you gotta do is just type in the movie, bam, right there in theaters. And this also can give Netflix a chance to actually branch out and try something different. Yeah, streaming is actually taking the future. And a lot of people, especially a lot of people older than me, I'm a millennial. So a lot of people older than me, some millennials don't like it. I like it because it's comfortable. It's comfortability. The comfortability. I can pause the thing, use the restroom, make food, and still watch the show at my own comfort in my own home. I don't have to drive anywhere. Or if I'm like traveling, I can watch whatever shows I want to watch that are on the streaming service whenever I want. I can download them. So like it's easy, it's at the fingertips. But a lot of people are bashing that. So the reason why, I'm going to give you also Paramount's view of it. Paramount argues with their counteroffer, it would give shareholders more value per share and offer a cleaner path to regulating approval because they're buying the whole enterprise in one go. See, that's the thing. See, when Netflix is buying, it's not buying the whole thing, it's buying parts of the company. Their basic logic of it is merging Paramount's existing media assets and Warner's vast content library, studios, cable TV footprint, creating what could be one of the largest vertically and horizontally integrated media conglomerates right now. But this is the thing. This is the one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that before these mergers were starting out, Universal was already in talks with Warner Brothers about having an IP, having their DC IP into their parks. They're thinking about bringing, theme parks, DC Universe to Comcast. And so that's what I found out myself. That they were already in talks and trying to get DC into the thing. And the thing about that also too is when I was looking it up is that the Comcast, which is Universal, NBC Universal, is thinking about adding DC to their park. The only problem is that the people that control the IP for theme parks is Six Flags. But there was I believe when I was reading, there was like a little cause of error because Six Flags is only in Pacific states. So it has nothing to do with, there's no Six Flags in Florida, so they can have one IP here. And the thing about it is that, with Marvel being taken over by Disney, that's their competitor. So why not have a different, because that's one thing about Universal I like, is like it's structured different to cater to films, franchise, but also cater to everybody, like adults. Disney is more about the family ambience, being a child, finding your inner child, all that stuff. And check this out. So now, this is the important question that I want to throw at you guys, okay? Why is this bidding war is unusually big? Stakes, risk, complexity in a large scaling and legacy option, okay? Warner Brothers owns some of the most valuable content and IP in entertainment industry. From its film studios to HBO to DC Comics property, programming library, global distribution network, acquiring it fundamentally reshapes the media landscape because I told you, his history is big and knows a lot of things. Also, with that being said, which I was looking it up and I didn't see Paramount adding that. See, the thing about Netflix is they're willing to buy everything that they own with television and TV rights, everything. All their content, their library, everything. And also, paying their debt load. Because unfortunately, Warner Brothers right now is at that point of having a lot of debt load on them. And the thing about restructuring pressure, Warner Brothers has been restructuring and has been at large debt burden. And that's the reason why that they are in the process of trying to sell this, because they can't keep up with everything that is going on with all the failed attempts with the DC universe and the switching of the ownerships from Snyderverse to James Gunn. And no offense, James Gunn, you did a horrible job with Star Wars. Just saying. You ruined Star Wars for me. But, he's done a lot of good films, but just in general, like, oh wait, no. I'm thinking of the wrong person. Sorry, James Gunn. But the thing about it is that everything was already structured, and then things have been changing. So a lot of the superheroes, DC has been slacking in the live action. The debt load and reconstruction pressure. So the sale process is part of a broader attempt to unlock value, reducing their debt, and separating the businesses for clarity. Okay. The only reason why, and that's why Trump is stepping in too with this merger, is regulatory and antitrust risk, okay? When you merging a giant like Warner Brothers with any other mega media / streaming company like Netflix, Paramount, Comcast, it might trigger scrutiny over competition, content monopoly, market share for distribution, streaming dominance, and news media consolidation, and which makes any deal potentially difficult to close because there's a lot of legality things. Like I said, they offer a lot of things. The uncertainty of networks and cable division, and that's another thing. Some offer exclusive traditional cable / new media networks, which Netflix is bidding for, which means that those assets still need a home, which adds oh my God, can't even speak. Complexity, and that could lead to spin-offs, shuttering, or separating sales. Shareholders and board tension, that's another thing too that they didn't really think about. The diverse bidding and different visions, partial versus total acquisition, cash versus equity, integration versus separation. It's causing a lot of friction. For instance, the bidding process has drawn accusations from Paramount that Warner Brothers board was unfair and predetermined in favor to Netflix. Really? I mean, I can see where they think that, but honestly, I don't think that's the cause. The fact is, this is what I feel like likely outcomes and what to watch for. Okay. So because it's in December, right now it's happening early December, reports are indicating that Netflix is the front runner right now because they've already the bid has been accepted and they're beginning negotiations with Warner Brothers Studios and streaming assets, okay? But because of Paramount is pushing a hostile full company offer and is going directly to the shareholders of Warner Brothers, the auction may not be over, and the final decision may depend on the shareholders' vote, regulatory reviews, and whether Warner Brothers acts breakup fees caused depending on who wins. See, that's the thing about contracts. They already signed a contract. The deal has already been made. The fact that Paramount's doing this little fuss, it's just causing more. It's just calling the inevitable. Because even if they win, either way, whoever wins, Warner Brothers loses. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why it loses. Because if they choose to go with Netflix, there's a lot of people that are going to have a lot of shit to go on what they're doing right now. If they choose to go to Warner Brothers after they sign a deal with Netflix, they sign a contract with Netflix, you understand that if there's breakup fees that they have to pay and go. So now they're double dipping their losses here, okay? If Netflix wins, the deal closes, expect a landmark of consolidating the content library streaming power under Netflix. potentially giving them dominance over decades of films, TV shows, and intellectual property, which is IP. That's basically what Netflix would do. People are afraid of streaming, but we got to give Netflix a chance. We got to give them a chance. We got to see what they're going to do with it. Just like you gave Donald Trump a chance, give Netflix a goddamn chance, okay? No way I'm supporting Donald Trump. I'm just saying, like, as this, like, right here, Paramount, if Paramount wins the full company acquisition, the result might be a massive extended media conglomerate, which combining streaming, studios, cable news, global news, which could be reshaped distribution, content creation, and even news media dynasty. But regular antitrust scrutiny would be likely intense. So it doesn't matter who wins because there's going to be antitrust scrutiny with Netflix and Paramount. If you like, I can try to project 3 to 5 possible future scenarios. Best case, worst case, regulatory delays, and partial sale for Warner Brothers, depending on who wins the bidding war. You know, it's up to you. Let me know what you think. I'm going to leave the message like this. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to share my videos, like, comment, and subscribe to Angelo Bash on YouTube channel. Thank you guys. This is my setup. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And for your latest news, Angelo Bash from Future Evolutions Productions is signing off.